Welcome. Mudshark pointed out I was not actually streaming. I'm Bill Wake. This is an app to work on that will provide tools for Dulcimer players. We're working on a festival calendar, and we need to parse the location in the URL. During the last few minutes, when I was left to my own resources, I pulled a test out from the location parser and said, let's just test that directly. And this chops the test down by a ton. Well, if it doesn't like none, I created territory.none. Let's make it unknown. That's probably more accurate anyway. Okay. String to territory. Oh, whoops. That should be territory unknown. Okay, so before we had the whole structure, the event coming back with all the fields, and now we just create a location parser. We say parse something, and then we check the location, make sure the result of our parse is equal to the expected location. That should be expected. And actually, I kind of use the language actual and expected. I use result a lot too, but I think when I just have the two like this. Oh. Did that backwards? Okay, so this one is virtual Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and we're making sure it finds the things right. And we'll run those tests. Now, I do think the implementation is a little naive at this point, so we will go in and rework that. Well, let's see what happens. Let these tests run first. And I should fix those names. Parses virtual location. City and state. Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm letting that run. Let's go to the parser itself. All right. The problem I have, I mean, this is a start. Let's check it in. What I don't like is it feels like kind of all three fields come together and these separate parsers kind of fight each other. I mean, I'm checking for city lowercase equals virtual. It's not sufficient. So I think what I want to do is pull this in. Yeah, I think the location, let's make this thing produce a location. Sorry, location is a string and location's the type. Let's see. So we will produce a location. And I'm going to pass in is virtual of Boolean. Okay, so he has enough information to do this. Okay, so give me a string. All right, and then we can just return this without looking at that. Well, that's kind of what we have to do up here. Is virtual city territory. We've got to wrap that. Is virtual good. Okay, if the location's nil, we bug out. Okay, and this should be is virtual. Okay. City territory. Thank you. Okay, let's make sure this is passing. Yeah, we need to do that for sure. I think we got to generate some more cases that'll make it clear this is bad, but this is clearly not good. That was just kind of enough to get it through. All right. I guess that test will run. I'm going to inline this. I'm going to inline everything, actually. Okay. So let's pull this. And delete that. Okay, so that should build. Okay, so here's is virtual. Okay, so this thing, if location is nil, that's really the same as this. So let's just use this one. Okay, so all right, so that should pass. Now, as I was looking through the real input, I think we're going to have some challenges. So the real input might put the city and state in a URL. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do about that, as well as whatever other problems we have here. Okay, so this is good. These are no longer needed. We may extract something like them out at some point, but I think that will do it. Well, run that briefly. Okay, now this. Okay, so mostly refactoring there. Okay, so I think this guard clause makes sense given that locations are optional strings. This should be a guard location not equal nil, else that. Okay, so if it is nil, it bugs out. We still have to... Okay, so right. So if it starts with virtual, it says yes, you're virtual. That's fine. All right, let's get a case. Let's put a case where you have both. Okay, so I'm going to say either virtual and or virtual or. Is legit. So this becomes true. Let's mix up. We'll just mix up city names and stuff like that just to kind of stretch it a little. I don't know that it really matters, but it's a good habit. Okay, so if you say virtual and St. Louis, we want to come back with virtual true and St. Louis. All right. Good. All right, so is virtual true, came back. City came back as virtual and shows St. Louis, or and St. Louis. Okay. That's the kind of thing I don't want to deal with. Okay, so if you start with virtual, you're virtual. I think that's legit. But we need to strip off, like you say. So, well, what's the... Let's strip location virtual and if location, well, let's pull out a new variable. Okay. Bar remaining equals, oh boy, no. We'll do it here. Location. Okay, but now if location dot starts with virtual and I guess there will have to be a space there too. Okay. Then we need to trim. Okay, so I think this is a function. Yeah, roof. Yeah, that's true. I'll let that emerge. But can there be cities? Trying to think if there's cities that start with or or and. I mean, there's Andover and stuff like that, but I mean, one that just starts with and. Okay, so we're going to update remaining is location dot And I don't know, trimming characters, trimming prefix. Oh, it gives substrings. Ugh. Cannot find operator in scope. I thought I was allowed to use regular expressions like that. Do I have to quote it? Seems funny. Boy. Yeah, that feels funny. Maybe this kind of trim is not the right. Ugh. I don't remember. I think you have functions to do it, right? You don't have like array indexes with minuses like you do in JavaScript or something. No, I want to length. Well, the arrow says it's got to start at the front of the string, right? But, oh, trim prefix, I see. Yeah, fair enough. But it feels like we should be able to set the length. Can we just set the length directly? Is that a writable property? What would you call it? Remove subrange. That sounds like what I want. Delete from start to end. Okay. So from, yeah. Set right. Is that index in or out? And is the index after the last character to remove? Okay. Let's see if that'll do it. Is it var no memory delete? Is this not a Java example or Swift example? thought there was a remove that took a range. Remove subrange. Okay, let's try that. Can I assign? Oh. Oh, golly. Sorry. I guess that just does it. But location is... Okay, let's do remaining. Requires us to type index and int be identical. Index equals string index. Is string index not index? Yeah, is there an ignore case replace? I mean, every language has 100 methods on their strings. They overlap about 75%. Yeah, even the length is so ambiguous. All right. Oh, we got to remove first. Okay, that'll work. Okay. I don't know what the rest is going to do. It won't be that. Okay. Let's make this remaining dot split. Okay. Well, while I'm thinking about it, we should put a test in for the empty string case or the missing string case. We'll see how this does. Okay, good. A little painful to get there, but we're there. Okay, so let's add that other case. Yeah, I think it'll be faster just to remove the length. I mean, we're not going to be doing, a billion of these a day or anything, but still, I think conceptually we can live with it. All right. So test Well, this is almost a one-liner. All right, and I think that one's going to pass just because we're doing it. Pressing occurrences, use options, case insensitive. Okay, that's good to know. It. In some ways, I feel like, I really should sit down and study all these string functions because there's gazillions of them, and they do come up sometimes. But on the other hand, I just don't do that much manipulation of things as strings like this. I mean, a lot of these are just sort of generic collection-y kind of things first and stuff like that. Okay, good. So we parse nil or virtual and for location parser. It's a little bit fractured. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you know it's there, I mean, all these things, I've read the page probably before. I mean, many times, but I don't know if I read it end to end ever. I mean, my way of learning things used to be like I would just read the whole stuff, one time through, read everything and just get that intuition for what's there. And then if you have to search for it, you know what you're looking for. There's just too much stuff now. I just can't keep up with it all. So string might be worth my time because you do manipulate strings often enough. But, I'm trusting things will suggest themselves. Okay, so I guess I could keep going. I mean, virtual or there's an implicit. Okay, well, this doesn't need to be there anymore, right? Because city lowercase equals virtual. Oh, no, we do have to split that off, don't we? Okay, yeah, let's keep going. Let's add the virtual or test because I think that's another plausible thing. Hey, Tooks, welcome. So we're parsing locations, virtual or was it Sault Ste. Marie? Sault Saint. I don't remember how to spell it. Okay. Marshall, North Carolina. All right. It should be virtual, yes. This should be Marshall. Yeah. And this should be North Carolina. Actual should be expected. Okay, and this test will fail. And we have these. Hey, there you go. So what are you using to work with? Are you just jumping in a project or using 100 Days of Swift or somebody's tutorial? Okay, and I will just make do the corresponding thing here. Else, if location of lowercase starts with virtual or, strip that off. Okay. Yeah, nice. I started it and got bogged down, I don't know, around day 60 something, and haven't gotten back to it. I was kind of doing one a week or one or two a week for a while, but I should go back to it and pick up again. I mean, I enjoy doing my own projects too. You know, it's very satisfying to scratch your own itches, I guess. But all right, now this one, let's just say, I don't know, any other thing that says virtual. We just want to strip off virtual, and then we'll refactor to get those that strip leading thing better. Virtual, then city state. Okay. Virtual, well, Mars Hill. If they do this, I would call it a little weird. Although, like, I could see this maybe showing up. I mean, for now, I'm the one defining the conventions that you have to use. But I think it's fair enough. I think we should strip virtual and trim the result. This should be Mars Hill. Okay. And I'm trying to be a little, what's the way to say it? I guess I'm trying to be a little forgiving because, you know, even if I'm filling them in myself, I can make mistakes once in a while. So, we will allow that possibility. Okay. Presumably it's virtual true, and the city is virtual Mars Hill because we didn't strip it off. Okay, so let's do that. Else, do I still have that? No. Okay, if it just starts with virtual. Okay, remove the or. I know he has some other projects that are more just do-it-yourself kind of things. Oh, what's the other thing he has? It's on my iPad. Is it called Update or something? Unwrap. Yeah, he has an app out there called Unwrap, and it's let's see if I can get it up. So it's all these little mini quizzes about like it starts with variables, strings, integers, and goes on arrays and all that, and operators and loops and those kind of things. And then gives you little challenges. You can do them daily if you want. You might want to look for that once you get to a certain point. You know, it just kind of plugs away on kind of details of some of these language characteristic things. It was all languages. It wasn't much, if any, library stuff. So it's just kind of core. But, you know, it gets some exposure to each of those things. And I found it helpful. I mean, I just finished it about a week ago. So, yeah, I have a lot of things like that. It's like I'll pick up and I'll start doing something and I'll set it aside for 3 months and then come back and, you know, yeah, there's, I mean, nothing has to be swift about it. If you, or, you know, you could take any language simple exercises. What is that site where you? It's not demonology. It's something something occultish sounding. They have problems in a gazillion languages, and I know they have Swift in there too. What am I thinking of? Can't remember the name, but it's out there. If you search for, exercises in different languages, you'll run across it. But it's got a bunch of little exercises that looked interesting. I've done a few, but okay. Yeah, we're passing. So let's push this. Strip off virtual and or. Okay. Yeah, CyberDojo might. Oh, that name's on the tip of my tongue. It's not sorcery. No, I gotta search. Maybe it is some sort of sorcery. It's not. No. What is the name of that thing? Probably exercises. Exorcism. I think that's it. Yeah. They have a bunch of stuff. I assume Swift's on here. I'm pretty sure it is. I thought I'd done some of these. And they got some pretty obscure ones. You'd think Swift would be there. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, maybe it's going to come up with it. Do I have to pay? Yeah, so it's exercises like this. They're, a half a page of description and then you do it. And I don't know. Oh, you can sign up for mentoring and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm more interested to see what the this stuff is. So, I mean, this is it's pretty neat. I used to do some work with a DNA company, analysis company. So yeah, we're counting, how many character differences or something, Yeah, it's nice to get them. All right. Okay, so I want to do something. I want a function that says strip something, strip prefix on. It's probably a string thing. I want you to take a string and lowercase. Yeah. Okay, so let's define that extension and see what it looks like. Strip prefix of string yields a string. Now it's a tiny bit of overhead for doing this, but well, it's kind of like this. Okay, so if it starts with I guess this is prefix. Then well, let's say var result equals self, and then if result dot lowercase starts with prefix, then we want to do result dot remove first of prefix.count, and then return result. So if it finds it, it strips it. Otherwise, it leaves it alone. Okay. Scope. I can't find it in scope either. I don't see it. Okay. He'll catch up eventually. All right, but now I can say remaining dot strip prefix of virtual and okay. I think I can chain it then, right? Okay. I don't know, can I can't modify. Well, yeah, if I make it mutating. Oh. How weird. He did. Let me see if that works. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's not quite. I think I do need to make it. Well, why don't I have to say return self here? I'm puzzled why it didn't enforce that I returned something. Yeah, remove first mutates it directly. I don't know. I think maybe I'm better off how I was. The chaining worked then. Because I returned a fresh string. Either way, it's a fresh string that can be done. I think that built. I thought it ran and passed. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, Smalltalk was very good about saying if you don't have anything to return, just return yourself, and then you can do that chaining stuff very easily. It's a little less easy if the result is not mutable or something. So Okay, and let me test. I might be able to make that location on the front one too now. Well, if somebody said virtually something, would we want to do that? I mean, that's kind of a decision for us, but let me try and remove this. So if it's just location dot strip prefix whatever, I think that should be fine because it produces a new value. Oh yeah, now it doesn't need to be. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's. Oh, true. Okay. And I don't. Well, there's no basic trim. That's so annoying. Okay. I don't think it'll create great harm. So I think we've dealt with the virtual ones. Okay, now we split on comma. If parts count greater than 1, use parts 0. Let's move the trimming up here. So we're going to split them on the separator and then trimming characters, spaces, and new lines. So many languages you just say dot trimmed and you get that, you know. Cannot confer base. Character set. Ugh. Yeah, I gotta map it too. If I don't know if it'll tell me this. String.subsequence. So I thought map of subsequence would produce a string. Oh, I gotta map it again, I guess. Map. Okay, I should have an array of strings. Yes. Okay. So now I don't need part 0 trimming, because part 0, if it exists, will already be trimmed. Parts 2, parts 1 trimming. Okay. Yes, we can. Okay, let's make sure that's working. So I really want to handle the case. I want to handle 3 cases from here. One is if all you have is something with no commas, then I think we just want to say that. If you have 2 things, we want to pull the... Well, if you have none, we want to leave them blank. Okay. Oh, now I still have this. Oh, shoot. Here. Okay. So location. Let's look for location. I don't know if I have any examples of no more occurrences. That doesn't seem right, seeing as I can see it. Yeah, if I have one, it should be the state. Basically, the state should be the last one. If I have 2 or more, the state should be the second to last, is kind of what I'm thinking. Why can I not find location? In document matching star. No more occurrences of location. Oh, ignore case is not the default. Okay. Well, I don't know what it does about the comma. We'll see what happens there. Maria Stein, Ohio. Okay, I don't have any like that. Right. So, we shall see. I thought, oh yeah, here we go. So, well, this is the URL case, but it could happen for location. It will pull, at least sometimes when you paste a link, it puts the link in the form of an A tag that it uses in the calendar. And I'm not sure which one we should go by, but I think this is the one that shows, so it's the one that was pasted, so I think it's probably okay to use, but we'll have to watch for this case on the URL in the URL field. But I also have the impression that that it can happen on location. If you enter a location, it gives you a drop down list, and I think if you take one, it will it'll give you a link to that location. I don't know if it's to Google Maps or what, but I think it can happen, but it doesn't happen in this, so we'll pause for now. Okay, and then yeah, so let's make test cases for state only. Okay. So this is parses state only, if that's what's there. And I should maybe say territory. Well, that's not bad, but I think let's just say England. And there could be situations where somebody might just put that. They haven't nailed it down yet, you know. Okay. Boy, I know there's a convention. We'll see what happens when we get in there. I think we'll grow these as we find out the cases. And then, well, yeah, although I think I can get by with just grabbing the last. I just want to grab the last occurrence of a link, and you know, I mean, it's going to look like this in the URL. It's like, I mean, I expect the URL to be on a line by itself at the end. Yeah, I think I can just look for find the last occurrence of HTTPS and take that up to, you know, a less than or end of line or whatever. Some of them have it directly like this, no wrapping, and some of them have the wrapper. Okay, let's see this test. So expect actual equals expected. And I don't know what this will do. I mean, we have these checks in there, and I don't know. If the city is parts count is greater than 1, use it. Otherwise, empty. I think this might pass. Okay. No, it won't. What does it get? City, England. No territory. Okay. Well, good. That gives us something to work with. I want to say let territory equal parts dot last. Otherwise empty. Okay, so if there's nothing remaining, we'll take that. If parts of count is greater than 1, well, I think I want it to be 2. Count minus 2. Okay, I don't think we need that, but okay, I think I've flipped it around enough. Dig out the territory. If there is one, take it. the last piece should be the territory. Otherwise, if you have at least 2 pieces, then take parts count minus 2. So if there were 3 pieces, well, I'm jumping ahead maybe, but let's just make sure it works. I think if there's only 1, this will return empty string. That part's fine. Oh, for city, yeah. Okay, and then the next test is, well, we've done, let's move this one up. Okay, I think it's sort of the simplest city-state one. Okay. I think virtual is sort of the step forward. City and state. Okay. And then if there are 3 pieces, the function can't throw. You certainly neither. Okay. Okay, it's not virtual, but city should still be Coeur d'Alene. Territory should be Idaho. Okay. Virtual with a comma. Yeah. That would be interesting. Okay, so let's try this one. I think what I just did with the parts should make this work. Good. All right, yeah, let's try that virtual one. Sometimes splitting by things like commas, if it's empty, it gets a little bizarre. Actually, I'd probably put this one later, but that's okay. This is to make sure our virtual rule still works under this case. Now, I think there's another convention that's like if I put a blah, 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 colon, and then cities and stuff, that I probably don't want the blah, 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 colon. But this should be true. Virtual. Let's do London, Canada. And St. Jude was like a church, because I definitely have listings like that. They'll tell you the actual physical location, City Hall, Coeur d'Alene Library or whatever. Okay, good. Anything else I got to do? I think we'll wait on the future case of potential tags till we see something with it. somebody will come back, and if we leave out too many cases, somebody will tell me, or I'll realize like, oh, that doesn't look so good. Okay. Well, that's good. So we've got location parser handles combinations of virtual city and state country. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good progress there anyway. Yeah, is there a find last? But I gotta say, I really don't want to write. Maybe I just have to strip off /a, the tag end. I don't want to have to write the regular expression for what's a URL. Okay. Location parser. Okay, so now, do we call location parser in our calendar parser? Do we call location parser? Let's make sure we're hooked up. Event mapper calls location parser to do parse on the event. Okay, and then he puts that in these places. Yeah, that was definitely a nice move forward, putting that little stupid location object. Okay, now event still has a URL field we don't fill in. Okay. The notes, that's fine if we leave it the way it is, but let's get a URL parser going. Well, let's just make one. Whoops. Do I get that if I hit Command N? Yes. Okay. And I think the way I would say it is a URL parser. A little weird. Okay. Well, let's start with parse empty description has no URL. Okay. I think I can trust parser to be a URL. Parser. Well, no, let's do it like we did the other one. Actual equals USL parser dot parse of nil. I think I can expect it directly. Actual equals empty string. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, and then we'll just create that here for the moment. URL parser. Yeah, I think he's a string. Okay. Return whatever. We'll fix that later. Okay, let's get another test going. Well, that's actually pretty good. URL parser parse something with nothing in it. Turns an empty string. Okay. Nil returns empty string. I'm going to leave out description because that's that. Okay, now this one. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so let's put the URL here. HTTP. I'm not going to give Google my tiny peak of interest. Okay. So this should be, even though you're not supposed to use HTTP so much in some sense, that's equals. And then we'll just write down some potential cases. So multiple URLs and embedded in a tag. All right. So we finally should fail. Let me find that link you gave me so handily. Range of dot. What is that? Last index code returns a string.index. Index of option backwards. How do you get that to... that? Yeah, I think we want this. Last where... That's only kind of character by character, huh? So I guess I'm taking it that we now have last index of. That should kind of help. Yeah, we have to do that stuff. Okay, well, let's try it. Does it work with strings? Input is a string. Okay. Oh, I guess I shouldn't be looking there. I should be looking at string. Last index of... I don't know. I think that's going to not build. Okay. We do need this. Well, this is looking a little more like what we want. Returns an optional index equals range going backwards. Otherwise, return nil. Return self.distance from start to lower bound. Okay. Okay, so that one Okay, so if index equals nil, we're going to return empty string again, right? And then now we have to return input dot. I assume there's a substring somewhere. Suffix from index. Oh, well, that was actually more useful. Well, I don't think I want to support multiple ones. I mean, I think I'm trying to structure the entries so that the URL for the whole thing, the best URL is the last one in the file, in the description. I don't think that's a vain hope. Okay, so if I want suffix, I think I just want the range of thing. Input dot range of, we know it's not nil, so we can do this. Range of HTTP going backwards gives me the index. If the index is nil, return nothing. Otherwise, I want input dot suffix from index. I think. Cannot convert return expression. Do you give me an option to return type string or replace input dot suffix with this? Yes. Cannot convert. I think it's a force unwrap. Yeah, inputs that. Oh, cannot convert by string index. Lower bound. No? Right. Index I know is not nil at this point. Okay. I wish it would infer that. I thought it did. I had this feeling like no, it was. I had to convert. It was giving back a subsequence or a substring or something. So I could have sworn that they put something in if you did a conditional to verify that it was that, you didn't have to do the bangs and all that stuff anymore, but I know there's if let. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. All right. Does this work? That would be a good thing. Oh, okay. Well, so you think input that I can take this one off? I think it was complaining about it, but maybe I was confused about which one it was complaining about. Yeah, no. Okay. Oh, that passed. Good. All right, now URL parser is still in there. Okay, so then, well, HTTPS I think will work just kind of by default. Because it starts with HTTP. And actually, we kind of have done the multiple URL thing. Okay. I think our solution covers the multiple URLs. Oh, I see we're past break time. Let's let this run and we'll take a break. All right, let's take a break, 3 or 4 minutes. We'll come back and tackle that embedded in a tag. And I think that'll do it for this part. All right, see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. All right, I think I might want to be a little pickier and make sure they've got the :/ as well, but parse with tagged URL returns just URL. Okay, so let's do href equals. Now I gotta deal with my quotes in a moment here. /HTTPS /that should still just be that. Equals that. Yeah. And I think I will just strip off a /a if it shows up. And this should fail. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it did. If anything, it'll be like this. No ends with. Oh, come on. There's starts but no ends. Has suffix. Okay. number in here. Yes. Okay. And that is, of course, really... Actually, I don't even mind leaving them in the notes. I just want it there so I can make a... I'd like to put like a little, I don't know, a little World Wide Web icon or something like that in the cell if it has a URL, and they can click that and jump to it. But I'll leave the text as is in the description, and then they can always manually copy it in and do what they want. If we've parsed it poorly or something, they'll still have it. Okay, if we have that to that, let's see if that does it. Okay, good. Let's parse ignores non-prefix HTTP. Yeah. Space might not hurt, but new line might not be so good. All right, let's get this one first. So I want to think the case http.dpnews.com should fetch http. Okay. I guess I should be consistent with my test. And I think this test will fail. I think it'll just pull http.dpnews.com. Yeah, NL is definitely possible. Maybe we'll have to trim the whole starting string, and then, yeah. Okay, so yeah, came back with http.dpnews. Okay, so I'm not sure if I can do this in one go. What is the range of string? Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. Isn't this... How was that? Roof subrange. Subscript range. where's that coming from then? String protocol. Yeah, I think. Range of T. I don't know. I mean, I've used closures in other languages, so it didn't seem so bizarre. But I really like it. The trailing closures. I mean, like the button click, it just really makes it look nice. But yeah, I mean, I think you get used to it. I mean, you know, button, you pretty much have to identify that as the action. Although there's variations. Sometimes it's actions and sometimes it's visual components. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if, like, do we have a regex with... I mean, I know I can do this. Let's do HTTP index. Let HTTPS index equals... Well, if they're both nil, this is getting silly. Replace the string in the range call with a regex. Oh, okay. It as a like that, maybe. Okay, let's try it like that. Or do I have to identify it as a regular expression? Use slash instead of quote. Requires regex of substring to conform to string protocol. I think that's saying it doesn't like the regex there. I mean, the documentation, I only saw range... Oh, no, that's of T. Ranges A regex component. Get a regex from a component. Character class, character class. I don't know. No, there's... Maybe I should just use ranges. And I know the documentation would be 100 times more useful if they had those examples. I mean, this gets ranges of a regex. Okay, each of those are regex literals. Let's try that. Can we do this? Okay, I don't need that. Okay. If ranges is empty, return that. Otherwise, let index equal ranges dot last dot lower bound. So find everybody with HTTP or S. If you don't find any, return nothing. Otherwise, get the index. It's going to be the last. Lower bound should be the starting index. Okay. Oops. Cannot force unwrap. This is already indexed. Closure indentation violation. Why is that a closure? Isn't that just an if statement? I don't see why it thinks it's a closure. Okay. And we'll add the corresponding test with, whoa. Oh. Is that not working like I thought it should work? fair enough. And let's flip these two just to make sure the regular expression is not goofing anything up. Although I think, given it found that, it's probably good. Okay, and then the last thing was the spaces stuff. So let's do one with that. I think I can do this while it's thinking. I don't know, that's a little procedural there. Maybe just parse strip spaces. Trims is maybe the right word when you're just talking about the end. Yeah, the tag does make that worse. We'll do a tag example too. Now, I don't know if I have to worry about spaces before the A tag, do you think? I mean, normally you're only able to, I mean, it'll select the URL, but yeah, I guess you could do it. Okay, yeah, we don't trim. All right. We did this in here, right? And now I can take this off. Okay. Let's extract some stuff out. Who needs foundation? Yeah, we could do that. Okay. Let's. This one should fail. I think it's time to make a string extension for trimmed. Oh, did I leave off string? Now, wait a minute. Did I not need this? Yeah. That's different. Okay. Right. Good. Okay. I guess I changed things. Good. Okay, now back to our calendar parser. Actually, I see event? No. But he calls the event mapper. Okay. Do we have a test for this one? I don't think we do. Let's put a description. Yeah, I think the end came out pretty good. All right, so what is the? Is it? Oh, it's description. Okay, let's add a description. Do I have one that just does that? Okay. Well, let's pull. Okay, I'm gonna give this new line that. Okay, and then this. Okay, but I should also have a URL. And this should pass because, oh no, it's going to fail because we don't use the parser yet. Event mapper needs to. Okay, so this needs URL is URL parser. And we took care that if it was nil, it would notice it. Okay. No, I didn't even check out the message here. Yeah, URL was empty. Okay. Now, city. Okay, so we do call the location parser already. Good. Okay. Oh. Well, I think the last thing. Did we import those yet? We didn't. We don't even import them. I've got the sample file, but we don't really need that anymore. Okay. Well, what I did is I went and generated the listing from scratch. I filled in a bunch more of the existing listings, so this is pretty current. Let's see, make sure I can read this file. I didn't check that. Okay, good. He pulled an ICS file down. All right. So, well, this thing, the listing is not, it's on sample data. Okay, so we need to hook it up to real data. I guess I got to find the calendar view. No, calendar. Spike view I can delete. Oh no, that's another calendar spike. Okay. Calendar view, event view. Maybe we're going to go back to the top. Where's my UI? Well. There it is. Okay. So we have the My Calendar takes the list of events. How do we hook that in? Okay, we're not 5 minutes from the end here. Let's see. So, do we call calendar parser yet? Maybe that's my problem. No. Okay. That explains it. Calendar parser takes the string that's the file. Okay, so somewhere between calendar tile. No, I mean, calendar view is probably the right place. Well, no, it was calendar tile was the troublemaker. Right. So this thing is hard coding this. So let's make that state, I guess. Yeah. So this, I think, should be calendar. Well, let's make this. Yeah, I think we can. Pass the calendar, take out these events. Okay, all his job is, okay, so now tile wrapper. I think data task for URL. And that's got to be in a task. Is it URL request or URL? Cannot. I'm not sure. Is that supposed to be URL request of URL of string of? Yeah, I mean, it's setting the state for the calendar view. I mean, we could do this in calendar view as well, I think, but let's get it together and then decide if it's. Can I convert value of URL slash test? Okay, isn't that? Cannot convert URL session data type. Label with call have for expected width. No, it's like response as HTTP URL response. $200 else, right? I'm feeling like I'm missing a. I almost feel like I'm missing a question mark, but otherwise we get. Well, let's just print failed for now. And then data. Remember these things. Data is still data, I think. That's not helpful. Share task.data task. Gives me a URL session data task. Oh, I can just use URL. What? Data task with this gives a URL session data task with URL. Gives the same thing back. So why are you complaining? Optional URL. Oh. We'll get the see if I can get it working slightly. Well, apparently it does not like that idea. Oh, come on. Why am I unable to make this work? I said 4 once, but it's not 4. 4 with. Cannot convert value of URL session data task to specified type something something. Is that not what those things return? It is. So it wants to return a URL session data type whatever. I thought, I mean, I think if I do this, I will find it somewhere, an example. But I thought data would be, no, that may be even where I saw it the first time. Oh. Okay, they create a URL. They check the failure, which we should do. Data something error in. Oh, that's the old way. There's a better way. Use the async version from URL. URL equals URL with string. And guard let. So we have a URL. Let data something equals try await URL session dot shared dot data from URL. Well, that looks like what I thought I had. Data response. And then I could URL session. Well, they're saying ignore it. So I mean, response is this thing that detects error, but we can ignore it for a minute. Data dot. And then what data's type? Yeah, he's still hung up on this. I can't convert value of URL session data task to specified type. Am I not in a task anymore? Maybe I'm not. Oh, no, but I have to be. Yeah, okay. right? Okay, I build my URL of string. Let data blank equal try await session dot shared dot data URL session dot data task. Haha. And what the data is, yeah, but we want the I think we're getting capital D data there, but they don't tell us. Incorrect argument expected 4. No, okay, that's fine. Maybe that'll help. Data is data. Okay. So string from data. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep going 5 minutes here because we're very, very close. Decoding data as UTF-8, which is right. And then we want to call our parser. Calendar parser with that. And then build calendar with that dot events. Okay. Okay, and let's run this. We'll just get this far. I mean, we'll have to do some work on the catching errors and all that kind of stuff. But I just have to know if it's gonna pull some stuff from this file and look semi-plausible. Okay, so when we do a festival calendar, once it gets going, all right. Hey, whoa. That was fast. Okay, yeah, we don't get the string trimming is not happening in that library. How bizarre. But that's all good. Let's show details. Okay. Well, that's a little annoying. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's it's giving us what's in that file for sure. It's kind of our problem that it's not bearable to look at. I mean, basically, we have to do some decoding. Those backslash commas, like, that's bizarre to me. I would think that library should have taken care of those. I don't know what else it does. It's producing HTML, and we can probably get that interpreted somehow. Although Swift UI doesn't have its own HTML component yet, so it may not be so doable. But we can see. But yeah, I mean, I've got data through the rest of the year. Actually, I think 2026 Dulcie Moon is ready to run again. Okay. A little extra period there. No city on the virtual. Okay. Yeah. Well, that gives us something to work with. So tomorrow we will clean up error handling in calendar tile. Should the IO be somewhere else? Formatting of description entries. And city, etc. Okay, I think that'll give us a full set of stuff to do tomorrow. But it feels very, very close. And I mean, if these weren't so obnoxiously full of links, yeah. Now this one, say the links are not, they're not tagged in this one. So it's sort of like a question of cut and paste when you're creating those calendar entries, whether it will detect it and make it there. I mean, this is what this would say anyway. But if I had a little globe here to click that would take you to this page, the last one, I'd be very happy. All right. Well, thanks for sticking around extra if you did. And thanks, Mudshark, for kicking in on a lot of things today. Everybody else, have a good night too. And I'll be back tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern or 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC. Good night.